Hey friends, welcome to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast. I'm Sissy Goff.
And I'm David Thomas.
And I'm Melissa Trevathan.
And we're so glad you joined us for this conversation. Let's dive in.
Toni Collier is the founder of an international women's ministry called Broken Crayons Still Color, which helps women process through brokenness and get to hope. She is a speaker, host, podcaster, author, and consultant. She is the author of Brave Enough to Be Broken, a children's book, Broken Crayons Still Color, and a devotional, Overcomer. She lives in Atlanta with her husband, Sam, and their children. Get ready to laugh out loud, think deeply, be encouraged, and feel challenged in the best of ways with our friend, Toni Collier. Toni! Okay, we are so excited to get to talk with you. I'll do the happy dance. Woo! Woo!
Happy dance.
We have been waiting for this.
Yes, we have.
You danced into our lives, I guess my life first, like what, 6 weeks ago or something?
Yeah, we're like cousins at this point.
We are like cousins. Seriously, we are on a roll. It makes me so happy. I love it so much. And we just have been wanting to have you on ever since. We're just so excited. And obviously, we want to get to all the amazing things that you're doing in so many places, because you certainly are. But can we start with a little bit about your family?
So really, at this point, the kids are all that matters. Okay, let me just say that right now. They're really all that matters. They consume everything, and it's the best. I have a 9-year-old. We call her our strong-willed blessing.
Ooh,
her name
that's
is
good.
Dylan. Yeah, that helps us sleep at night. She is dynamic, truly, and always has been. She's just got spunk. She's got so much charisma. She's like, the empathy is just like oozing out of her ears, and compassion. She is so fun. And we're at a stage right now where we're like getting our nails done and living our best life. It's great. But then I have this sweetie little scrunchy, fluffy little boy named Sammy, who is 16 months. I've been trying to be like a cool mom and keep up with the months, but it's a little hard. Baby boy is 1.5 years, okay? And I think he's fearless, really kind, and compassionate. And I think he's a little quiet. It's interesting, like to see the dynamics play out between the two kids. And I just actually want to eat him up, and I just actually want him to live with me forever. And I just want to say that publicly here on the podcast. Now, my daughter, sweet girl, she can go and have a career and call me when she feels like it. Okay. But it's just great. But she's such a mama. I'm obsessed with my son. My son's obsessed with my daughter, and it's really just beautiful.
I love that.
So sweet. Well, will you also say how you found your way to the work you're doing?
Oh my gosh. I'm still a little confused, honestly. At this point, I wake up every morning and I'm like, God, don't let me mess this up. You know, I'm just crazy and I don't understand how this is all happening. But long story short, I went through a really, really hard first marriage and divorce, and had some church hurt popping. And when I was a little girl, I had so many just different things happen, so many dark points in my story. I was sexually abused. I battled with addiction all throughout high school and college, trying to numb the pain of everything that was happening. And then I got to this point where I got saved and I was doing ministry. I was like working with the youths because I was kind of wild and crazy. So they kind of liked me. And I got to a point where I was just like, I think I'm a fan of God, not a follower. And I essentially went on this journey that I've been on now for the past 7 years, or really 8 years now, just trying to figure out like, what does it look like to say yes to Jesus, but to also like look like him and act like him and treat people like him. And what I found in all my research and going to seminary and getting my certification in different things was that it really doesn't just take like holy people, but it also takes like people that are pursuing wholeness and healing at the same time. And I've been on this journey for a while. And now what I'm trying to do is just remind people of the totality of how God's created us with our minds and our emotions and our spirits. And I'm trying to do that for kids, and I'm trying to do that for moms and leaders, especially in the church, so that we can just be like whole people and we not like spitting off scripture, but we kind of mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm trying to do. And it's just been a real beautiful, colorful ride. Let me just say that. Yeah.
Well, you are so engaging and delightful and charismatic. I mean, I told David that before he even met you, and he was like, "Yes, she
Yeah,
is."
you're
We were driving
correct.
home from that event, and I mean it. I love that that's what you're pursuing because it feels
Yeah.
like you're going after it wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
and because of who you are, I think all of us who love you get kind of swept up in the wake of it.
Yes, we do.
You know, it's just a beautiful
You
thing.
guys.
Yes.
That
Seriously.
makes me so happy. I'm a little like my pits are sweating a little bit. That's good.
Well, thinking about all that beautiful work,
Yeah.
one offering in particular we're so excited to talk about with you for a few minutes is your book for children, which is called Broken Crayons Still Color. And will you talk about just what inspired the book and even what you're hoping kids can take from it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this has been and will be my most important project thing that I'll ever do for God, for the generations. I originally got this idea, Broken Crayons Still Color, from my daughter, actually. She had some different behavioral challenges, so a different diagnosis that she was given when she was 4. And it proved to be really challenging. And for a while there, our world was really dark. I was a single mom. I was, eating coffee for breakfast and lunch. I was on WIC and food stamps. And I remember I bought her the 64 box of crayons. And I was just, a single mom doing my thing. And I gave them all to her. I was like, just create beauty. Like, you go, girl. Well, she broke all these freaking crayons, okay? And she robbed them of their dignity. They were naked. She had colored on the wall. I mean, it was just like an actual catastrophe. But when I came back in the living room to her, she literally was just like sitting on her stomach coloring. And it was just such a testament to like my world at the time. I was literally broken. I felt like all my little dignity was gone. And I didn't have anything left, from family to ministry and church, finances, my social life. Going through a divorce just kind of rips that from you. And it was just difficult. But out of that place, I started to realize that God really does his best work in the broken places. And the longing, I think, that came from that as I started to dive into counseling when I was 24 and go on a healing journey so I could be a stronger mom, what came from that is the realization that I needed some of these tools that I was now becoming aware of as an adult, as a kid. Like I needed to know that it was okay to be really upset. I needed to know that emotions weren't excuses. I just remember my dad saying, like, those are excuses. Like, what are you doing? Stop talking about that. And I bottled all that up and I tried to numb it with substances and boys and partying and twerking and drinking. I mean, just all kind of crazy ratchet stuff that I did for so long. And then I realized, I needed witness. I needed someone to sit with me and say, like, Toni, all those big emotions that you have, like, they're loved by God and welcomed by God, and they don't discount you. And so I'm trying to teach that to my daughter. And in the process, her and I created this book so we can teach the same to kids around the world and to help parents with that same thing. Like, broken crayons still color. Like, you can be mad because mad's not bad, and all these different things. And so the book is really about that. And it's about teaching kids these tools and resources and breathing techniques and like feelings wheels. I mean, all the things. And it has been beautiful, truly a beautiful project.
Sissy, I just got back from the dentist and I got a perfect report.
Well, good for you, David.
Not only did I not have any cavities, but they were so complimentary on how great my teeth looked. I told them I've been using Bite toothpaste.
So have I. It makes my teeth feel so clean.
It took a minute to get used to it, but now I'll never go back to paste.
Did you know you swallow 5 to 7% of toothpaste every single time you brush your teeth? That is an entire blob of toothpaste every 7 days.
Well, aren't you full of fascinating trivia?
I am, but hold on, I'm not done. Most commercial toothpastes are filled with harsh chemicals, artificial flavors, and preservatives, not stuff you'd want to be putting in your mouth, let alone eating.
That's why Bite makes dry toothpaste tablets made with clean ingredients that are sulfate-free, palm oil-free, and glycerin-free.
Bite toothpaste bits are so convenient. You just pop a bite in your mouth, chew it up, and start brushing. It will turn to the paste you're used to, but with no plastic tube or messy paste.
That plastic tube gets gross.
David, you no longer need to worry about that. They come in refillable glass jars and they send refills in compostable pouches. So they're better for our bodies and our earth. No more plastic toothpaste tubes.
Sissy, Bites makes plastic-free alternatives for everything on your bathroom sink, from toothpaste, mouthwash, toothbrushes, and deodorant, so you can cut out the harsh chemicals and plastic waste without compromise.
Bite is offering our listeners 20% off your first order. Go to trybite.com/RBG or use code RBG at checkout to claim this deal.
That's TRYBITE.com/RBG. Sissy, I'm trying my best to play catch up on my Christmas shopping.
I'm trying to finish mine up too.
You know who is helping me out? Cozy Earth.
I love my Cozy Earth sheets, David.
I know you do, and I do as well, but I just made a new purchase, pajama bottoms.
I cannot imagine.
I can't either. I think it may feel like wearing my Cozy Earth sheets around the house.
Wait, I thought you said you were Christmas shopping. How did you end up with a pair?
I did buy a pair for Baker and Witt, but then I got so jealous I bought a pair for myself. Merry Christmas to me.
Merry Christmas to you is right, David Thomas.
Cozy Earth makes everything extra special.
Make every night a 5-star experience with Cozy Earth's responsibly sourced temperature-regulating bedding.
Temperature regulating. That feature is saving my life and my marriage.
Is it any surprise that Cozy Earth's bamboo sheet set was named one of Oprah's favorite things in 2018?
I get it, Oprah. I am with you.
Sleep with confidence thanks to Cozy Earth's generous warranty. Luxury bedding essentials that provide peace of mind and endless comfort.
Why settle for less? Discover Cozy Earth's exquisite bedding for your best night's rest.
David, Cozy Earth provided an exclusive offer for our listeners today. Visit CozyEarth.com and get up to 35% site-wide when you use the code RAISING.
I'm logging in right now. That's CozyEarth.com for 35% off site-wide when you use the code RAISING.
Just am so excited to hear you say that and tell your story and talk about the brokenness and the beauty that's come from it, because I think, man, of the parents that are listening right now that feel like they're in the midst of that they're just walking back in the room and feel like they're falling apart, and for you to point them toward the brokenness and what it means. I just am so grateful for that. And thinking about Toni, I mean, we have talked so much about how we feel like parents are more discouraged than they've ever been and feel more like failures. I mean, I love that you're speaking to kids and grownups both. And what encouragement, what do you feel like moms, what do you feel like adults need to hear the most today?
You know, I think what I need to hear in this season is that, one, me as a parent and my sweet babies, we're both made in the image of God. Mm. And one of the things, maybe this is going to make me cry, okay? I'm an emotional person.
It's okay. We're counselors. We're kind of used to it. We can go there with you.
Help me. One of the things that I am maybe not learning about God, but embracing about God's character is his withness. There's just really nothing like it. When you are in pain, when you're experiencing big emotions, like the withness of God is something so sacred that if we are to be made in his image, and we actually are, then we kind of have that trait as well. And I'm learning that when I become more like God through this characteristic of withness, everything else kind of like chills out a little bit. When I think about like my daughter and in the moments where she's really struggling with her anxiety or she's having a sensory meltdown, it's withness that gets her through. Mm. When I'm thinking about like being overwhelmed with travel and all the things, it's me calling a friend and saying, I am overwhelmed. The anxiety is just revving up. It's their withness that carries me. And I think maybe like that's the one thing that we could pursue as parents, as caregivers, teachers, and leaders. Like maybe it's just time for us to practice being really good at being with people.
Mm. Yeah.
I think that's it for me in this season right now, which ain't all like, educational, but that's what's been most powerful to me in this season.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, and even thinking on how much of your work is at that intersection of brokenness and hope, what would you say to parents who are maybe in that really painful chapter of their story?
The hardest thing I've ever had to do was to raise my kids while feeling completely broken. There just genuinely is not another thing that was as difficult as that. And one of the things that was really hard was believing that I had to be everything to my kids. The mom and the dad and everything that they needed. And I remember my counselor telling me, like, babe, you got to fill your bucket. She did not call me babe. I will say that publicly. I just thought that was like, she is not calling me babe out here. She's like, Toni, you got to fill your bucket, and because God's designed you for your bucket. And when you start to try to fill the daddy bucket, which you don't have what it actually needs anyway. Like dad's got to fill his bucket, and grandmama and stepdaddy and we all have our own buckets. You got to focus on filling yours, because what happens when you focus on filling yours is that maybe the other ones are really empty. Maybe there are some empty gaps. And that is also the space that God inhabits. I mean, in Genesis, it says that the Holy Spirit was where the chaos was. He hovered over the chaos, over the depths of the waters, over the emptiness. And I just feel like when you feel real broken and you're battling with pain or abuse or divorce or feeling, single, I mean, all the things, when you're doing that, there's some chaos. And I think the best thing that we can do is just allow the Holy Spirit to hover over that while we heal, while we grow, while we become as whole as we possibly can while you're here on this earth. I think it's faith. I think that actually is faith. It's trusting that God's going to fill the crevices,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So thinking about you and thinking about how much we feel like laughter and fun are necessary in the harder parts of parenting. And you bring a lot of that with you wherever you go. How do you personally, but also how would you encourage parents to stay in that kind of place?
We have a family motto. We have a family motto. If we're not having fun, we're doing something wrong. I think it's important. I mean, it's just what it is.
I need that motto in my life.
We're too crazy. We're too extroverted not to just be having some type of fun. If we're not having fun, something is going on that we need to take a closer look at. The reason why it's a family motto, though, is because it's a priority to us. And I think what's happened is life is hard and dark and serious, and we got bills out here. Okay, we got to pay, we got to feed little babies and all kinds of stuff. Like, it's just a lot. And all of those things are priorities in some way. Like, a priority is we have to go to work, we have to make money. A priority is we have to put food on the table. If we start making fun a priority, it won't be an afterthought, and we won't drift away from it because we'll be swimming towards it. And so for me, what that looks like is we create a family motto because it's like, it's right there in front of us. Like, this is what we do. It's our theme, for lack of better words, right? And so we're looking for all kinds of ways to do that. Whether we have board games all over the place. Like, we have a whole game little cabinet that, I mean, the little pieces are all over the floor all the time because of my one and a half year old. But that's what we do. We have cards on the dining room table. So after we eat, whatever, there's phase 10 and there's Uno. We always play games. Like, we have them everywhere. We're just inserting pockets of fun all over our house, all over, our car rides, our travels, all the things, because if we're not having fun, we're doing something real wrong. So, yeah.
Well, and I feel like so many of us gravitate either towards fun at the cost of digging deeper, or that we're living in the sorrow so much that we don't know how to access the fun. And I love that you are so intentionally in both places and helping us walk towards both places too. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Well, Sissy, okay, let me just say this too. I love that you said both places, because I think that's like a common misconception that hurt and hope cannot coexist, that joy and pain cannot coexist. And one of the writers that I had hired, Jenna Carver, I remember she said that. She said, it's almost like we're telling people that hurt and hope can coexist. We're giving them the hall pass to say, like, I know things are really hard. And then on top of that, society tells us that if you're sad, you got to be sad. Like you can't crack a joke. It could get weird. Like if something devastating has happened, like you got to really stay in that sorrow. But we're not a monolithic people. Like humanity is so complex and we have all these different quirks and whistles and all the things. And so I think giving people the permission, the hall pass to say, well, hurt and hope can coexist. We can, have really, really hard moments and then just sprinkle in a little bit of fun there too. And it's okay. So I just want to say that.
Oh, that's so good.
Toni, you are a living reminder of that truth. Living reminder. You are. Sissy, I was just thinking about how much Henry and I have in common. We are both boys. We both have the number 5 in our age. We both love Legos, and we both prefer to hang out in our pajamas.
You are correct, David. Those things are all true about the two of you.
And you know what else?
What? You both love Star Wars?
Yes, but something else.
You both would eat cake for breakfast given the chance?
100%, but that's not what I was thinking of. We both take Hiya vitamins, and we had a blast decorating the bottles Hiya sent with our first order.
You remind us that Hiya vitamins are for kids of all ages.
Typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise, filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy junk growing kids should never eat. That's why Hiya was created, the pediatrician-approved, super-powered chewable vitamin.
Hiya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk, yet it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters.
Formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more.
We've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order.
To claim this deal, you must go to hiyahealth.com/RBG. This deal is not available on the regular website. Go to hiyahealth.com/RBG and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
David, we just hosted Thanksgiving at the lake, and guess what got the most compliments?
The dressing.
Nope.
The desserts.
Nope.
The turkey.
Good guess. But it was the green pan slow cooker out on my counter.
I believe it. That thing is beautiful.
It is, and I cooked in it all weekend. I made soups. I used my green pan pans to make eggs one morning and pancakes on another.
It was a green pan Thanksgiving at the lake house, wasn't it?
And it will be a green pan Christmas. I've decided to give some as Christmas gifts.
You will be the hit of Christmas. Okay, let's go back to the slow cooker for a minute. If you listen to this podcast, you've heard us talk about Green Pan before. Just in time for the holidays, Green Pan launched their new slow cookers. The same beautiful cookware you know and love can now create family-sized meals with the press of a button.
I know you can't see it, but the slow cooker is beautiful. It's available in 8 colors, so there's definitely one that will complement your kitchen. I got so many compliments on my cloud white.
With Green Pan, cleanup is so easy, and I love the in-pot browning. There's no more browning on your stove and then adding it to your slow cooker. With Green Pan, their slow cooker does it all at once.
Green Pan's cookware are free of PFAs, PFOA, lead, and cadmium. Don't know what most of that means? All you need to know is that your current cookware might be coated with forever chemicals, but Green Pans are free of all forever chemicals.
Not sure which cookware is right for you? Green Pan has a quiz that guides you to the right choice based on your experience level, how often you cook, and what kind of stovetop you have.
And they've got a 60-day return policy, so you have plenty of time to make sure Green Pan is right for you.
So toss those plastic pans and upgrade your cookware this holiday season with Green Pan. Head to greenpan.us and use promo code RBG and you'll receive 30% off your entire order, plus free shipping on orders over $99.
That's right, 30% off. So head to greenpan.us and make sure you use our promo code RBG or they won't know we sent you.
Okay, in this season, we're talking about ages and stages. And you have them from 1 to 9. And we'd love to know what have been some of your favorite ages and why.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I gotta say, when my daughter Dylan turned 8, something shifted. I don't know what that is neurologically, but it was like she wanted to bathe herself. She wanted to get dressed herself. And it almost like she almost learned how to reach back. Like there was like a selflessness thing that popped up in her, right? Like for 8 years, she was just like consuming. I want this, I want this, I want this. To then it was like, oh, it's my friend's birthday in class. I really want to get her something. Or, hey, mom, do you need help with anything? Like I was like, who's this little kind whippersnapper? Because for so long, I was like, oh, Jesus, she is selfish. Good Lord, it's all about her. And so 8 was really, really fun. And the stage that our little is in, so a year and a half, oh my gosh, he's just running. Let me just say that he's just running all the time. He doesn't have a pause button. He just runs like a little Energizer bunny, but he's also talking and he is imitating the things that we do. So if he'll have like a little stuffy bear and he'll just like hold it and go, oh, and I'm like, oh, you got that from me? Like just holding him, being like, oh, and he like pats my back like I do his. And so he's in that imitation stage. And that's been really, really sweet. Really
that is
sweet.
so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would you say has been the hardest?
Child, let me tell you, with Dylan, with our first one, it was 3. Oh my God. I mean, forget 2. I don't even actually know why anybody even still says 2. Okay. Because we're riding this thing out. But 3, oh my gosh. And oftentimes you guys know this, like around 3 or 4 is when you start seeing if they do have some behavioral challenges, they start to come up right there, there. And it came up 3 and 4 personally in our lives was honestly the best word that I can use is it was really embarrassing. We battled with a lot of shame because my daughter she couldn't be in like a normal classroom environment. And I wouldn't even say normal, but like a brick and mortar, type environment. It was very difficult for her. She got tested. We found out she had sensory processing disorder and ADHD and general anxiety and all these different things. And there was just shame. And I didn't know how to handle and process that as a parent. And so it was just tough. Like we just were like, what is happening? Why is everything so different for us? Yeah. And we then found out that we had to do some internal work on our own insecurities as parents and realize that kids are different in all the different ways. And there doesn't have to be shame in that at all. And I will say the newborn phase, let me just say that right now, I'm not built for that. I ain't built for it. I don't like it. I regret having a kid for probably that first 3 months. We're just gonna be honest. I'm not built for it. I'm not wired for that. And it was horrible. It was horrible, but we bounced back.
Made it through.
What would you say has been the best parenting advice you've been given?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard because I'm a consumer, which I've learned from Sweet Sissy. Maybe this what I'm about to say about what Sissy said is probably the best advice because I'm a hoarder. I'm an information hoarder. I'm a consumer. And I already battled with anxiety. And then I've been diagnosed with ADD. I mean, really, I get so nervous so fast that I just consume a whole bunch of information that then feeds the same nervousness and anxiety. And Sissy has said a few times now, pick 1 or 2 resources to choose from and stick to that. And I'm telling you, it's true in the past before I've heard that. And it's true even now. I remember when in that newborn phase, I was so overwhelmed. I was trying the something babies. I don't even know what all the little things it's called. Mom's on call and raising babies and all these different things and sleep, play, nap, feed, eat. It was crazy. And then I was like, I'm going to choose one. I'm just going to choose one and I'm going to stick to it. And I chose Mom's on Call, who I love so very much. And my kid was on a schedule in like a week. I was like, oh, I was just trying to do many things at one time. That's the best piece of advice. Pick one thing. There is a such thing as consumer overload, and it drives your anxiety and you're worried that you're not doing something right because there are all these opposing views. And that's been super big for me in this season and in that newborn phase that we will not speak of again. Okay.
I was just thinking as you were talking, not to add to your consumer overload, but have we sent you books of our books?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
you did. I
Good.
got
I
him.
was hoping we did. Okay, good.
I got him.
Good.
I got him.
Okay.
Don't you worry. I got
Don't
yours.
feel pressure to overload on them, but just wanted to make sure we had said.
Well, it's okay. You guys are one of the two. All right. I got moms on call and I've got raising girls and boys. And I'm like, okay, we're done.
We're honored.
We are so honored. And hey, I want you to know we have your crayon pillows scattered throughout our counseling practice.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to cry.
Yep.
I don't have enough for this. I don't have enough for that information.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the sweetest? So all these kids are sitting up against them in their counseling offices.
Oh, they're so
they're
cute.
sharing. They're
like
so
broken.
cute. Yes. They're so
cute. They can have their
cute.
favorite color. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay. I love that.
I know. So sweet. Such a gift. Okay. Tell us. I hate that this is even ending. I would like to ask you like 30 more questions. It's just so fun to talk to you. It goes so fast. Okay. Tell us where we can find and follow all the things you're doing. Get your book. Y'all, by the way, get the book. Get all the books. We love them so much.
That book has been crazy, y'all. Everything is on ToniJCollier.com. J, what's my name? ToniJCollier. Everything's there. I mean, obviously, I'm just like personally so invested in our kids' book, Broken Crayons Still Color. It's been on a New York Times Square billboard. I'm getting like, it's Halloween time right now. So I'm getting like all these teachers that are like posting pictures. They're like being broken crayons, the crayons in the book. It's in Target. It's in Walmart. It got picked up by Hobby Lobby. I'm like,
wow.
Well, it's been mind blowing. But I think it's because we all as adults are ready for the next generation to get this right. And being able to process our emotions in healthy ways. And it just makes me so excited. And I think God wants that too. I do.
Yes.
So, come on over.
That's so good, Toni.
Okay, Toni, we like to end with something fun and food related. You're here for this. I can tell. We've got a 2-part question coming your way. So part 1 is queso or guac. And part 2 is what's your favorite taco?
Okay, so 100%. 100%. Because let me tell you something. You can have it for an appetizer. And then when the said steak taco comes, you can pour it on there as well. Okay?
Ooh, that's
brilliant.
It's already going to come. If you get a little fajita, you may get a little scoop of guacamole. You can have that later. Hello, somebody. Think smarter, not harder, guys. All right? That's what you didn't realize. You can order a side of guac with that taco. But get the queso every time. I was ready for that one.
You were ready for that one. And I just need to say, if you're listening to this, go home, put on YouTube, and go to watch this on YouTube because it is so fun to feel like we're in the room with you.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Toni, you just are delightful.
You are. You are a wonder in this world, dear lady.
Yes, you are.
We're thankful to know you.
I'm so grateful for that. That makes me really happy. Thanks for saying that.
Well, thanks for being on here with us, and thank you for the difference you're making in the world and the reminders of hurt and hope together. Oh, yeah, so good.
Love y'all.
We love you.
We love you.
Did you love today's episode? If so, would you mind sharing it with a friend? Send a quick text or email with the link to the show.
Join us next time for another episode where we'll bring you help and hope on your journey of raising boys and girls.